Hello, another month, another wrap-up. I'm going to try to rush through this because my camera is running out of battery, so I'm trying my best to film this before it dies. Anyway, so first of all, I have my arcs for the month. There are a couple. So first of all, Simon & Schuster emailed me like, hey, Philippa Gregory has a new book coming out in her YA series. Do you want to proof of it? I'm like, hey, thank you so much for the email, homies, but like I haven't read the rest of the series yet, so it would be a little bit pointless. And they're like, hey, we could send you the rest of the series as well in a bind up if you'd like. So naturally I was like, a free book, sign me up, because I don't know how to say no to this, much like my homeboy Alexander Hamilton. So lo and behold, I managed to read all 4 books in the Order of Darkness series in less than a week, because I need Jesus. So we have the first 3 in this beautiful bind up over here. I don't even know the titles of them. So there's Changelings, Stormbringers, and Fool's Gold. And then we have the newest installment, and that is Order of Darkness. The series is basically set in Renaissance-esque times in Italy. It follows this one kid, Luca, who's meant to be the most beautiful and most intelligent boy. He's a soon-to-be priest, except he's too smart for that life. So this shady-ass Order of Darkness recruits him to become an inquirer. If I never read the word inquirer ever again in my life, it will still be too soon. Lord, help me. And then there's this girl, Isolde, who's like a lady, but her father dies, so her brother wants to steal all the lands and inheritance from her. It's so fucking boring, y'all. It's so boring. There's this one character that I liked. Her name is Jacques. She was a woman of color. Thank the Lord, because this is so white, it might as well be a jar of mayonnaise. And I liked her. She was smart, she was spunky, but she was inconsistent, which is a theme with all these characters, really. There's literally no fucking development for any of the characters in 4 fucking books. No development whatsoever. I could try to tell you anything about the plot, except that's inconsistent. There's no clear fucking plot. And it's so predictable. And literally none of the plot points end up having a point. It's just, you're along for the ride. You're kind of having fun, maybe, sort of, but there's literally no fucking thing actually happening. And this main character, he's the most boring ass man I have ever seen in my life. And you want me to believe that this one, whatever, blonde, blue-eyed bimbo will fall for him, which fair enough. She's literally slut-shaming her best friend. I can believe that, but you want me to believe this intelligent woman would fall for this piece of cardboard? Seriously, he's like Archie from Riverdale. He's the most boring, bland ass man, but you want me to believe he's like so good at everything and all the women just fall at his feet. I'm forgetting my words. That's how pressed this series has me. No thank you, hard pass. Honestly, I might read the rest just to see what fucking happens if Simon & Schuster somehow still offer to send me a copy after this review, which doubtful. But yeah, and it also mixes parts of Romanian history stuff, which I'm always sensitive about because they're so ludicrous. But that's my big mood. Continuing on the arc path, I read The Bells by Donnell Clayton. This is out on February 6th. I was very lucky to get this arc from one of my colleagues from work. It's signed as well, so that's beautiful. I'm so thankful that I got to read this. I absolutely loved it. A lot of people have been hyping up the book and their most anticipated releases of the year, and I think a lot of people got arcs at BookCon and whatnot, so I was so pumped to finally get to read this. It's set in this sort of, I guess, alternative world where people have no color. Everything is very blend and gray, and their hair has no textures, their eyes are red, and it's just not a good time, except we have these bells, as they are called, and our protagonist, Camille, is one of them, and they have the power to make anyone beautiful. They can make any sort of changes so that they look appealing, and there's this contest to see which one of them becomes the royal belle, and everyone wants to be that, and there's a lot of political intrigue. There's just a lot going on in this book. I don't even know where to start, but in short, I really liked it. I did see a bunch of reviews that were not digging it, so there's one that might be a slight spoiler. I'll link that down below if I can still find it. And if I come across any of the other ones that have legitimate concerns, I will link that down below, because there's not much that I, as a boring ass white girl, have to say, except that I thought that the continuous descriptions of skin tones using food analogies were a little shady, but the author herself is a woman of color, so if she's fine with it, honestly, what concerns could I have about it? And yeah, I don't even know where to start. The writing style is so whimsical. I love the dynamics between the characters. I love the way the characters themselves are shaped. I love the accent on female dynamics and sisterhood and friendship, and it's so beautiful. I thought that the descriptions have this very vivid, profound, just charming imagery to them. I think I really like following the main character. I don't always agree with her life choices because they're quite questionable at times, but she's just very charming to follow, and I'm very invested in her story, and the whole world building is just fantastic and enthralling and captivating, and I'm so invested, and I love the whole mythology of the bells, and this just world that Danielle has created has my heart. I'm so interested in seeing how this develops, because I'm assuming it has got to be turning into a series, and I'm so pumped. So I definitely say keep an eye out on February 6th for this one. Then we have library books. First up, Girl Up by Laura Bates. This is feminist nonfiction. I love it. I love it with my whole heart and soul. And I think this should be a mandatory read for anyone and everyone, but especially young girls. I think the language in it is very accessible. It supplies you with definitions of terms in case you're not very familiar with the whole social justice warrior thing, like your homegirl. And it's so good. I would say it's sort of your teen guidebook to feminism, maybe, if that's a little bit of a high place to put it, but that's just my opinion. No, you can either take it or leave it. It has a foreword by Emma Watson, whom I love and adore and do trust in her feminism. Used to be kind of white, but she's been working on it, and it's such a beautiful development. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked here. I gave this a solid 5 out of 5 stars because I love it so much. I really want to get a copy of it for my sister after I take this back to the library, because it's so good. It's so good. I agree with it. It's so intersectional. It's so fun to read. It's a quick read. It's just the best. Speaking of 5-star reads, Wind Witch by Susan Dennard. Truth Witch was one of my favorite reads of 2017. And now I finally picked up Wind Witch. I'm the first person to take it out from the library, and I love it so much. I don't even have the words. I can't tell you much about this one, particularly being a sequel, but the first book follows our main characters, Safi and Isolde, who are sort of witches, I guess. Safi is a truth witch, so she can sense the truth and lies behind people's words, and then Isolde is a thread witch, and she kind of sees the threads that bind people and the relationship between them. It's complicated, okay? It's complicated, but the series focuses so much on their friendship, and that is most definitely the element at the core of it. It's so action-packed. It's so well written. There's this one romance in here that's so angsty. I would die for it. It's my #1 ride or die ship. At the moment, I would die for them. It's so angsty. It's so good. It has a very Pride and Prejudice feel to it, and the author actually included a scene to make it very much like Pride and Prejudice, and my heart cannot possibly take it, but it's so good. So do take my word and read the series. I'm so invested. I'm so invested, y'all. I have no words. So on the graphic novel front, I only have one this month, but it's a great one, you know, so quality over quantity. I read Miss Marvel Volume 6, Civil War. I love this. If you've been following my channel for a while, you must know that Miss Marvel is my absolute favorite series when it comes to graphic novels and comics, hands down. And Kamala is just one of my favorite characters and superheroes, and the whole series is it's so good. I don't even have the words, and this volume hit so close. It's so profound. It's so much mixing the thing where she's trying to balance out being a superhero with being a teen and being a friend and being a daughter and identity. I love things that deal with identity and sort of having an identity crisis. And it's so heartbreaking, but it's so good because this, on the obvious Civil War front, you basically see Kamala's life crumbling a little bit at a time, and it's so painful. But it's such a journey emotionally that I'm here to follow, and I think there's something quite relatable in it and very truthful, and the writing is just wonderful. There's this one panel, y'all, that really got me. Maybe the missing pieces aren't part of a place, they're part of me. They're things only I can figure out. And it hit very close to home, and I literally had discussions with a cousin about that. It's so good. Just read Miss Marvel. Do yourself a favor. Even if you're not usually into graphic novels and comics, read Miss Marvel. Just trust me. And then I kept seeing this on Ariel Bissette's channel, so I was very intrigued because I'm a fan of this person. So I picked up the Diary of Frida Kahlo. For some reason, my understanding was that this would be a graphic novel sort of following the life of Frida Kahlo, except it's literally her diary. So while I did skim through it and I did enjoy the artwork and stuff, I didn't like focusing on it too much, and I didn't like reading all the things because the morality of it is questionable, alright? Because it's her diary. She didn't agree to it being published. It didn't feel right to just read that, so I still felt wrong looking at the artwork and stuff, but I couldn't sit down and read someone's diary because that's so personal and so wrong on so many levels. So I didn't even rate this on Goodreads because it feels wrong to read someone's diary, for the love of God. And then I just didn't read much. I started A Darker Shade of Magic on the plane to London because that feels like a very London-esque read. So I'm currently reading that. I'm not very far in though, which is why I'm not mentioning it. So you'll see that in my February wrap-up, I would assume. And thank you so much for watching. Do let me know what your favorite read of the month was, or if you've read any of these books, and I'll see you later. Bye!